Okay, our first little lesson as we get into our equations unit is skills and tips needed before equations unit. Okay? Alright, first skill we need is what are exponents? Once in a while we just may come into exponents, especially when we do order of operations. So exponents usually have your regular number, which is called your base, and then it's to a certain power, either 2 or 3 or 4. It doesn't get much beyond that in our problems. And we just need to know that 5 to the first power, any number to the first power is always going to be equal to itself. But 5 to the second power equals 5 times 5 equals 25. Then 5 to the third power is equal to 5 times 5 times 5. That's 25 times 5 is 125. And here's the most common mistake. Many kids, when they first learn this, they try 3 to the second power and they say 3 times 2 is 6. No. Or 2 to the third power is 6, like 2 times 3. No. Now, 3 to the second is really 3 times 3 is 9, not 6. And 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2, which is 8, not 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. We're also going to come up with, or this word's going to be mentioned a lot, operation. Okay? Some of us say, well, what is an operation? You know, we think of doctors and surgery, but in math, the operations are really the signs that tell us what to do. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Those are the 4 operation signs. Okay? Now there's different ways to write the multiply sign. In 5th grade you may have been used to maybe only one way with an X. But in 6th grade, once we get into kind of our pre-algebra problems, we'll have 3 times 8, which are used in elementary school, but then sometimes we'll just have a dot in the middle. That is times. And once in a rare while, we'll have 2 numbers within parentheses next to each other, and there really is a multiplication sign. That really is like this, 6 times 4. Okay? And also, we will see something like this, where x is a number that we don't yet know about. 5 is next to it. There are no parentheses here, but a number next to a letter means 5 times x. 5 times x. Okay, and we'll see that much more in this unit. Okay, different ways to write divide. Okay. Now, this is how we saw it in elementary school, but as we get into pre-algebra, many times our division is going to be with this fraction sign. This fraction sign means this, 15 divided by 3. And many times in our pre-algebra, we will have x divided by 8. So we just need to know those. Okay? All right. Now, here comes a very key word. Key vocabulary word during equations is inverse, and inverse means opposite. Okay? Now, in math, let's look at the plus sign. When we have an addition sign and we want to find the inverse operation of addition, the opposite of an addition sign is a subtraction. The inverse or opposite of a minus sign is addition. Now, if we have a multiplication sign, the inverse or opposite is division, and then the inverse or opposite of division is multiplication. And this is going to be a very key concept once we start getting into solving equations. Okay? Example, we have x, a number that we don't know what it is yet, x plus 5. What is the inverse operation of that plus? Well, it's going to be a minus. So the inverse of x plus 5 is x minus 5. So the inverse of the plus is minus or subtract. Coefficients, variables, and their operations. So once more, we have key vocabulary for the equations unit. Okay? Now, here's what a variable is. It's a letter. I always use X, but hey, we could use A or B or R. They're called variables. The root word of variable is vary, which means to change. In one problem, X might be 5. In another problem, the variable A might be -3. So this X can change. Because it can change, it's called a variable. Now, a coefficient, whoa, that's a big word, which means when a number is attached to the variable, and this means 3 times X. They do not have a little dot there, but when it's attached like this, it means 3 multiplied by this variable X. Okay? All right. Now, let's go right down here. 5x is equal to 5 times x. It doesn't say times, but we have to know that. Just like this, it doesn't say divided by, but when we have a variable over a number on bottom and a fraction bar, that's x divided by 7. Also, two key vocab words, expression versus equation. Sometimes we get those mixed up. Now, if we look at an expression, it has no equal sign and no answer. Okay? So let's look here at this expression. Now over here, this equation, the left part of the equation is exactly like this, but what does an equation have? Equals 11. Look at equals and look at the first part of equation. Equation, equal sign. Ta-da, and answer. Let us look right here. 3x plus 6, that's an expression. But if we add the equals 18, then it becomes an equation. Also in our equations unit, we really need to understand this very basic concept. X equals 13 is basically just the same as 13 equals x. We'll have to remember that for later on when sometimes x will be on the left side and sometimes it'll be on the right side, but these two answers are the same. Ooh, key concept, distribution. To distribute means to give out evenly in this case. Now, watch this. You may see 6 and then parentheses with maybe x plus 5 in the parentheses. Now, what this means is 6 times x plus 5. So there's a little times right there that, isn't written, but that is what it means. Okay? Now, to distribute means this. We're going to take both 6 times x and then we'll add it to 6 times 5. So here we get 6x plus 30. So we multiply 6 times this and 6 times 5, and then we bring this sign right down like that. That's distribution. Okay? So let's look at both of these. 5 times x is 5x. Bring down the minus sign. 5 times 4 is 20. Let's go to here. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down the plus sign. 3 times x is 3x. See how that works? And yet even, well, we go and. Something else we may see in equations is when we get things like this. And all this means is 6 times, and then we add that first. 6 times 4 is 24. Okay, we're going to do this first. 4 minus 1 is 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay? And our last little teaching comes to this key point. Don't guess or give up when you have to work out a long computation. Okay? Let's go to the left side first. Now we may be working out multiplication problems where we have 5 times 6. Oh, I know that in my head, it's 30. 7 times 2. Oh, I know that in my head, it's 14. 3 times 9. Oh, 27. And 11 times 4, 44. Now we don't be doing this, and then all of a sudden we get to 15 times 7. Well, I don't know that. I'll just skip it, or I'll just guess anything. No. As soon as you have something that you have to compute like this, you go right out to the side and you put it up and down. 15 times 7, or 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 3 and 7 like this. Okay? Don't guess and don't give up. Let's take subtraction. Hey, 9 minus 4, that's 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. 12 minus 12 is 0. Well, I don't know what 77 minus 38 is. I give up. No, don't give up. Find a place to write it up and down. Okay, now we have to borrow. Let's not be lazy. So we get 9, 39, 39. 201 minus 89. I'm not going to give up. I write it up and down. Okay, can I take 1 minus 9? No, I borrow from the 20. I get 19, and I get 2, and I get 11. Okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to guess. Now, let's go over here to division. 25 divided by 5, 5. 15 divided by 3, 5. 161 divided by 7. Well, I don't know. Well, I can't guess. I can't give up. So, right here, 7 into 161. So 7 into 16 is 214. We have 21. 7 into 21 is 3. Haha. Okay, we don't give up. And then here's plus. Oh, 8 and 2 is 10. Ooh, that's easy. 6 plus 1, 7. Ooh, that's really easy. 7 plus 9, 16. That's real easy. Now, well, I don't know what that is. I didn't memorize that in 4th grade or 3rd grade. Oh, okay, so you put it up and down. 15, 17, 18. Okay, 5 and 7 is 12. 12 and 8 is, oh, I might even count on my fingers. Ooh, sounds like 20. Carry the 2. 50. Okay, so the answer is 50. We don't give up and we don't guess. Another key skill for equations.